What do you know about George Washington? We know that George Washington loved his country. He was not perfect, but we understand that there are also things in today's culture that we can't say about George Washington. For example, we know that George Washington used hemp for industrial purposes like making soap, sacks, rope, things like that. He used hemp for things on his Mount Vernon estate or nautical purposes for like boats and shipping and things like that, nets. But he never used, and there is no evidence of him using hemp for or cannabis sativa for recreational purposes. There's no letters, no correspondence, nobody in his time or culture saying that. Now, hemp and cannabis sativa are two different things. You could say that they're cousins or distant cousins of each other. And we could say in today's culture that George Washington would be in favor of letting the states, the Ninth and the 10th Amendment, letting the states use hemp for whatever they need for industrial purposes. And when it comes to cannabis sativa, that's a state level issue where the states decide. Other than that, we don't know. Economics. We could say in George Washington's farewell address that I talk about in my POTUS 1 biography here that George Washington would want the United States to not be so entangled in foreign affairs, not be in the UN, not be in NATO, these useless organizations that perpetuate endless war for no reason. USAID, endless reasons for endless war. George Washington would not be for that. It would be something that would have to be very, very serious, that would undermine the integrity of the safety of national security. Other than that, we don't really know. In terms of marriage and dating and, how do you say, that holy union between two people wanting to get married, that's a state issue. Now, if you believe in different things with marriage, again, that's a state issue, the Ninth and the 10th Amendment. When it comes to energy and resources, I personally believe, this is my opinion, that there are a lot of things in our country, the United States Republic, and in the world where there is hidden technology and hidden resources. And there are perpetuating lies about resources and energy to keep the United States and the world fighting and have all this consternation and problems amongst each other because of resources and energy, when I personally believe that there are endless resources and endless energy out there. Nikola Tesla technology. This cigar is awesome. I also believe that George Washington would be in favor of the constitutional carry of the Second Amendment, where it's already a right. It's already something that is available, but people in today's culture get carried away and senselessly, with foolish reasoning, use firearms for reasons that they should not. Firearms should only be used as a last defense, like a fire extinguisher. You have it, but most of the time you won't need it if you are circumspect, you're aware of your surroundings, or there's imminent danger to the ending of your life to protect your life, your property, and your family. And there are lifetime carry permits, self-defense permits. People should, we have YouTube. People should take or watch videos about self-defense, or take a self-defense class first, this is my opinion, before they get a firearm. I think George Washington would be in favor of learning how to defend yourself, whether it's with any kind of self-defense means or with a firearm, learning the education behind it before getting a such a tool as a firearm is. Now, I also believe that George Washington, let's see, George Washington would want people to have some kind of faith or believing in spiritual matters. George Washington was an Anglican Christian, or some people say he was a deist. Whatever you believe George Washington was, he had a spiritual life. He was part of the Freemasons, from what we know of. We don't, there is the Freemason Lodge in Alexandria and other places, and Fredericksburg and all that kind of stuff. And Mark Tabbitt he's a Freemason, has a book about George Washington. And I think that there's a lot of things that as a organization like the Freemasons, you can keep secret if you like. But beyond that, we don't really know what the Freemasons are from what the clues and things that is going about on social media. Other than that, it really doesn't matter. Live your life. Who cares what these organizations, secret societies do? At the end of the day, you still have to go to work. You still have to make a living for yourself. You still have to provide for yourself and your family and your community. I have to burp. Hold on. I'm sorry. George Washington would also want people to get an education. I do not think George Washington would be happy with the education system in the United States because it's so expensive to go to college and to university. And then you get out of college or university and you can't find a job that is equating to your level of education, entry level. You have to have experience. What does that mean? You already got the experience and education by going to university and college, even if it's $45,000 a year. In today's culture, that is the bare minimum, is $45,000, in my opinion. I think that George Washington would be very in favor of homeschooling or private school. In my opinion, I think that it is very, indoctrinated in today's culture in public school and university, college, because you come out not learning really anything except you have this piece of paper. And now I went to university, I'm thankful, but it's been very hard to get that job that I want in my field for at least $45,000 to $50,000, state level, 9th and the 10th Amendment. Now, there are a lot of things about George Washington we don't know, and that's okay. We do know that at the very least, he had a lot of flaws, but he was a noble man, a good man. He was not perfect. Nobody is perfect. No president of the United States Republic should be looked up to like a demigod, because no president of the United States is perfect. Just like you are not perfect. But we continue and we try to grow and be better every day. It's a journey with ourselves and our Creator. My name is John Stuber, and I am the author of this book here, POTUS 1, about the life and politics of today through the eyes of George Washington. It has a short chronological timeline of George Washington's life. It has 4 main topics: the Jay Treaty, the Whiskey Rebellion, the farewell address to George Washington, and the passing away of George Washington. It also talks about other topics that are very important to me, like the human trafficking and sex trafficking of today, which I believe sex trafficking and human trafficking is the main currency. That's right. It is the main currency to the evil, sadistic, satanic people of today who run the world. Thank you.